With the return of the Predator Bugs and the inevitable dives back into the gloom, it is important to make sure we're packing the right weapon combos to face down these swarming, skittering menaces. With that in mind, here are my top 3 primary and support weapon combos for crushing the gloom and Predator Terminid scum once again. The next wombo combo has got to be, without a shadow of a doubt, the Scorcher and the Stalwart. I said the last time the gloom bugs were out that having the MG43 at our disposal was a better choice. I have completely changed my mind here. Whilst the MG43 is awesome, nothing compares to a max RPM Stalwart absolutely melting through waves and waves of Terminid filth like butter. Whilst we're not talking about stratagems, it just has to be mentioned that if you're going to play this loadout, you've got to take the guard dog and the Gatling sentry. The sheer damage output this combo puts out is absolutely insane and incredibly fun to play. If you haven't tried this yet, seriously, please do. You'll have a blast and it's so effective. The Stalwart melts through all chaff with ease, and whilst it can struggle a little bit with alpha commanders, the fact you have so much firepower at maximum RPM, it more than makes up for it, folks. It's also pretty decent at taking out impalers as long as you open fire quickly once they reveal their maw to you. With that being said, once biles and charges enter the fray, then you have some problems on your hands. You'll need to land well-placed stratagems or rely on your teammates for the biles, but the charges, that's where the Scorcher comes in handy. It can easily deal with charges' rear weak spots if you mag dump into it, and it also makes incredibly short work of spear enemies, another one that the Stalwart doesn't perform well against. Aside from these strengths, the Scorcher is also just really handy to have at your disposal. It does solid damage to all chaff enemies, and you definitely don't mind having to switch to it when you're in a pinch. Before we go into the next weapon combos, if you're enjoying the video, and only if you are, please do drop the video a like. We focus on all things co-op and Helldivers 2 here, so if that's to your liking, then subscribe to the channel to keep informed. Now, back to the video. The Cookout shotgun and the arc thrower are an absolutely cracked combination. It is your light horde clear choice and is designed to deal with chaff, not heavy targets. It can one-tap hunters and warriors, especially if you get all the pellets to land, and this will either kill them outright or let the fire damage drain the rest of their HP away, with the exception of spewer enemies. Even the new Predator brood suffers against this shotgun, and it really shines against Predator hunters in particular. You can literally shoot them once, it will set them on fire, applying a dot, which will then see them quickly burn to their death. So you can essentially just spread this fire damage around with one shot and forget about hunters, because they will die very quickly after they've been hit, which is a great place to be in, folks. Its ability to stagger and crowd control is absolutely insane, and this is where I think a lot of its prowess actually comes from, not to mention that it just feels really fun and effective to play. If you're a Blitzer fan, you will quickly find yourself at home and getting into a rhythm with this weapon. It can bully any chaff enemy and even pushes stalkers around the map, which is another huge win in my opinion. You can also reload 1 ammo after every shot. This weapon also does really well at dealing with shriekers, which we affectionately refer to on stream as flappies. Tap them with 1 shot and set them on fire, and this is always enough to bring them crashing to the ground. Once you get used to the projectile travel time and the speed, you can actually start sniping these annoying suckers from quite far away. When you want to pile on the pressure, enemies get locked down very, very quickly. But speaking of locking things down, in terms of my own personal preference, I like to use the arc thrower, as this gives us the ability to deal with the new and regular enemies at long range, and it also offers us even more of that delicious stagger and CC that we really need to make the most of allowing us to lock down breaches and large patrols with ease. The arc thrower beams jump to multiple targets, allowing you to very quickly rack up insane kill counts and neutralize threats before they even get to you, folks, and this offers ultimate control of the battlefield. I can't understate this. It is so strong. You can also stun lock chargers, deal with shriekers super easily, which is a really nice touch and something that I think this is better than the flamethrower at. Another combo that the arc thrower features really well in is the arc thrower and the Liberator Concussive. Now this one really surprised me, but I am loving using the Concussive Liberator. It really shines at bullying non-heavy Terminids around the battlefield with with ease. It shreds hunters and warriors, and much like the Blitzer, it needs to be said that this weapon needs the right setup to hit peak performance. You need to pair it with support weapons and stratagems that can do the heavy lifting on damage, because it does lack there. It really thrives in bullet hell setups, think Rover, Stalwart, MG43, Gatling sentries, or if you're running Tesla towers or anything that capitalizes on crowd control, this thing fits right in. One setup I had massive success with, pairing it with the arc thrower. That thing is absolutely cracked when it comes to raw damage and dealing with large groups, but it struggles when mobs get too close. That's where the concussive comes in. Swap, blast, create space. It's also clutch for protecting sentries and teammates from getting swarmed. A really interesting one to try out, folks. The Halt and the flamethrower. This is an absolute powerhouse combo when it comes to dealing with the new Gloom variants. With insane close range damage, massive stun potential, and medium armor penetration, this weapon is a great choice for keeping the tide of bugs at bay. Supplemented with the flamethrower, which needs no introduction with its ability to melt horde threats extremely effectively and of course deal with charges with ease, this synergistic combo doesn't get as much airtime as it fully deserves. The Halt, an often overlooked primary weapon, comes with two types of ammo, stun and flechette. The stun rounds allow you to lean into a heavy supporting role, stunning horde threats efficiently, and if you can land most of, if not all, your pellets onto a charger, stopping them dead in their tracks, opening them up to a thorough melting from your flamethrower or a barrage of shots from a teammate or even a sentry. More on that in a moment, folks. But it doesn't stop there, because you can also deal very impressive damage utilizing the flechette round, especially when at close range, making this weapon both a CC and damage monster. It's important to note that the stun rounds do less damage than flechette rounds, so it's important that you take note of this when trying to be efficient. Now, in the Gloom, where damage output and crowd control usually I would say need to be balanced nicely, I actually throw caution to the wind here and love going full support using the Halt for a more CC heavy setup with the gas dog and a gas grenade. But if you want a little bit more damage on the table, the Rover and the laser dog are also viable here, folks. That's just what I like to do. And what's also great about the Halt is how well it pairs with sentries. Whether you're rocking a chaff clearing sentry or a heavy duty turret, you can protect it like a pro, especially against those charges. Don't forget the Halt is super flexible with support weapons, and this is what I love about this weapon. For handling heavies, you could go ahead and grab the Eat, Commando, or Quasar, or if you're looking to focus on chaff clearing, dealing with mobs, you can go with what we've already spoken about, the flamethrower. Now, the flamethrower is so reliable when you've stunned a charger, nuking them down quickly. It also helps when you want to try and mop up a damaged Bile Titan when your teammates or yourself can't finish the job in one. Get savvy at stunning and slopping with the flamethrower at the right time, and you will quickly find yourself feeling incredibly confident at clearing the tidal wave of Gloom bugs in this harsh environment. Check out this next video. It's got you covered. Take care of yourselves, keep having fun, come check out a stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.